Hey everybody. So I'm just sitting outside, spending time with the Lord, and as I'm just sitting, you guys, I'm drinking my water and just writing down everything that He's saying. And so the Lord is saying, the Spirit of the Lord is saying in this hour, and it is July 14th. It's 3 something. I'm not sure exactly what time it is, but like just turned 3 not too long ago, so somewhere around there. But he brought me to 2 Corinthians 7 verses 14, and a lot of you guys are probably really familiar with this passage or scripture. And it says, "And my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked way. Then I will hear from heaven, will forgive their sins, and will heal their land." Now, and this is 15, now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to the prayer offered in this place. And then he led me to Jeremiah. Alright, so Jeremiah chapter 3. And this chapter is actually called The Polluted Land. So it actually goes with what we just read, right? And so it says, God says, if a husband divorces his wife and she goes from him and belongs to another man, will he still return to her? Will not the land be completely polluted? But you are a harlot with many lovers, yet you turn to me, declares the Lord. Lift up your eye to the bare heights and see. Where have you not been violated? By the roads you have sat for them like an Arab in the desert, and you have polluted the land with your harlotry and with your wickedness. Ooh. Okay, and then 4 says, I just read 1 through 3. 4 says, have you not just now called to me, my father? You are the friend of my youth. Will he be angry forever? Will he be indignant to the end? Behold, you have spoken and have done evil things, and you have had your way. Then he took me to 9. It says, because of the lightness of her harlotry, she polluted the land and committed adultery with stones and trees. Yet in spite of all this, her treacherous sister Judah did not return to me with all her heart, but rather in deception, declares the Lord. And so the Lord is saying, a lot of people are still on the fence here. God has been calling and telling his children to return for quite some time. And he's saying that you have polluted yourselves and your bodies. Like, you think that your relationship with God is all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, but they're not. They're not. And you polluted yourselves with the world when God had called you to be holy and righteous and consecrated and set apart for the world. You'd rather be with the world, and you're cheating on him, and you're breaking the covenants and the vows that he has made with you, and that you once upon a time agreed to and wanted for yourselves. And so God is saying that you're cheating on him. You polluted yourselves, and you have all the world in you. You're no longer clean, but you have many lovers. And this is the love of the world, you guys, not like a physical being, but it could be if you're idolizing them. But he's talking about the money, the gold, the silvers, the cattle, everything. Like you're worshiping, false gods. Like you're doing all these things that the world is telling you to worship, when you were never called to worship those things. You were called to serve God. You were called to be a child of God. You were called for a higher purpose and to what's the word, God, advance his kingdom. And so you've been cheating and you're in this wickedness and you are with the blurred lines, like you speak God with your mouth but your heart is far from him. You brag on what he's done, you pray, you go through your struggles, and you call on the name of God, but you don't serve him. You just go to him when you need something. He is not Lord over your life. He's not master. He's not your father. He's not those things. What he is to you is a genie in a bottle, and that is the problem. You only go to him when you want him, but because you're stuck in something, you need something, but it's not because you actually love him. It's not because you're actually committed and submitted to him and yielded to him. It's because you want something. It's a bargaining thing. It's a trade, and he's done with that. He's tired of that. He wants more, and he is declaring more. And that's why he's saying, but you are a harlot with many lovers, yet you turn to me, declares the Lord. Like, imagine, like, if somebody only came to you when they wanted something. Like, they act like they love you, they act like they care about you, but they really just come and give you a phone call when they need something on their, down times and their busyness. Like, they don't call to check up on you. They don't call to see how you're doing, if you need anything. Like, their hearts don't care about you. They only think about you when they need something. And that, unfortunately, is how a lot of us look at God. It's how a lot of us treat God. It's like he then gave everything, came up with the master plan of Jesus to get us back from Satan and his wicked ways, yet we don't want to love him. We don't want to dedicate time to him. We don't want to spend time with him. We don't want nothing to do with him. Like, even to say his name is much, like, you don't even want to tell people about him, right? But when we're in love, we want to take photos and do selfies with us and our lovers. Like, we want to brag about this person. We want to take trips with this person, go out to eat with this person, live with this person, do life with this person. But we don't even want to give those things to God. We don't even want those things with God, and that's a problem, especially when he's coming to the table giving us 100% of himself. God is not a 50-50 God. He's not giving you 25 and then you give 3. Like, God is 100% giving at all times. Like, he's never like, oh my God, like, you're gonna call on me, I'm gonna ignore you. Like, there's still grace for the sinner. There's still grace for the atheist. There's still grace for every breath in this earth. And God is saying he's had enough. It says, with your harlotry and with your wickedness. Like, he says, and you have polluted the land. So while you're over here posting all these worldly things you're doing, like, you are leading people somewhere. You're either going to lead them to God, and no, leading them to God isn't just like, shout out to God, he did this for me, but you live in sin, because now you're giving them blurred lines. Now it's a mix of you and a mix of Satan, and y'all confusing these people. Like, you're not even a real surrendered vessel unto God. And it even says over here in 3, and I don't know if I skipped this, but it says, therefore the showers have been withheld. And when I was writing this down, God was letting me know, like, that is the, let me actually read it, blessing and the promises. So he said, therefore the showers have been withheld. And then this is the revelation. He said, blessings and promises, you become your own delay by refusing to listen to me. And then it says, and there has been no spring rain. He says, a refreshing. There hasn't been a refreshing for you. You're wore out. You're tired. These things haven't been given because you're not at the feet of God. You're really not in relationship and bonding with God. And then it goes on and it says, yet you had a harlot's forehead. You refused to be ashamed, meaning you're living in your arrogance, right? If we want to go back to 2 Chronicles, what does it say? 14 says, and my people who are called by my name humble themselves. Like, you're not even humble. You're out here doing the work of Satan gladly. And the sad part is, a lot of people don't even know that they're serving him. They think like this is what God looks like because there's so many people, preachers in the pulpit, people on Instagram, social media, whatever, around about, and they're not displaying the holiness nor the righteousness of God. They're displaying their emotions, their flesh, and God. That's not how this works. Not how this works. Go back to the feet of God. Get the answers from God, not your mixed emotion. What did God tell you to say? And then say what he's telling you to say. Not this halfway in. Like, people are being polluted. And we're supposed to be the bride of Christ, right? He's coming back for a spotless bride, a spotless church. How many people can actually sit here and be like, I'm spotless? I went back into, the lab. Like, I went back and laid out on the table and gave myself as an altar. Gave myself as a sacrifice onto the altar and let God examine me. Let God do a new work in me. Let him tell me he didn't like this. This is what he wants out of me, and change me. Let God be the judge of your life. No, this is not me. This is me. Keep that. Okay, go this way. Cut that off. That is not of me. I need people to see this part of me in you. That's why you're designed to show that and to emulate that, and so then it goes on and it says, because of the lightness of her harlotry she polluted, meaning the lightness, okay, as in like like you don't even know, you don't even care, you're just in your flesh doing your own thing. So because of the lightness of her harlotry, so she's just doing out this. And you guys, this is not even all about women, this is the children of God. This is not a he or she thing, it's all of you, all of us children. And it says, okay, so because of the lightness of her harlotry, she polluted the land and committed adultery with stones and trees. And God showed me when he was saying the stones and trees. It said idol worship. So idol worship is what he's talking about. So because of the lightness, because you don't care, because you're just walking around aimlessly with no purpose and no intention, right? You're just out here just living your life the way you want to. You don't care what nobody thinks, right? You doing you, boo, right? Because of that, it says the lightness of your harlotry, and this is cheating on God is what he's saying. Right? Putting him last, not valuing him or caring about him and what saddens his heart, like what brings him joy. You don't even care about his own emotions and his thoughts. And it says she polluted the land and committed adultery with stones and trees, meaning you're going out and you're cheating on God with these other idols, with these other lowercase g gods, like, and you're worshiping them without a care in the world of how does it make your Father feel. But you want him to care about how you feel, right? Not okay. And 10 says, yet in spite of all this, her treacherous sister Judah did not return to me with all her heart. And that's the problem, right? He said over here, back in 2 Chronicles 7, it says, my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Then I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins and will heal their land. He is asking for a complete surrenderance. All of your heart, not a little bit, all of your being, right? And he said, but rather in deception. So instead of returning, a lot of you guys, instead of you returning with all of your heart, you're still stuck in deception. You don't even care to seek God's face, to humble yourself, to turn from your wicked ways, to pray, to see what is on the heart of God, what is on the mind of God. And so now 11, and it says God invites repentance. So this is what he also is saying. 12, but I'm skipping some. So it says, return faithless Israel, right? Sons of God, sons of Jacob, right? Like the children of God, right? And so it says, return faithless Israel, declares the Lord. I will not look upon you in anger, for I am gracious, declares the Lord. I will not be angry forever. Only acknowledge your iniquities, right? Turning from your wicked ways, repenting. Okay, only acknowledge your iniquities, that you have transgressed against the Lord your God, and have scattered your favors to the strangers under every green tree, right? Because he said you're your own delay, so he hasn't been giving you the blessings and the promises because of your wrongdoing. So he's been giving it to others, which also could go to, when you're seeing other people be blessed and you're wondering why not you, right? Because it's their time, right? And so he's been giving it out to others. He scattered it amongst others. And then it says, and you have not obeyed my voice. So here we go. Back to 13. Only acknowledge your iniquity, that you have transgressed against the Lord your God, and have scattered your favors to the strangers under every green tree. And you have not obeyed my voice, declares the Lord. Return, O faithless son, declares the Lord, for I am a master to you, and I will take you, one from a city and two from a family, and I will bring you to Zion. And Zion is the promised land. And 15 says, then I will give you shepherds after my own heart, is what he's saying. So his royal children who actually yielded and surrendered. So the ones who are after his heart, like David, right? I will give you shepherds after my own heart, who will feed you on knowledge and understanding. 16. It shall be in those days when you are multiplied and increased in the land, declares the Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word. In Jesus' name. Even over here, 19 says, what is standing out, it says, my sons, and give you a pleasant land, the most beautiful inheritance of the nation. You shall call me my Father. So when you guys return, God has the promised land. Like, you are your own delay. He's saying there's so much he wants to give you, his child, but there's circumstances. Figure out who you're gonna serve. Choose this day. Like, are you gonna serve God or are you not? Because God has a right hand for his reward, and he also has the right hand for his vengeance. And so we just have to pick what side that we're going to stand on, and choose God, and fully choose God, and fully surrender and submit. So the Lord is saying, turn from your wicked ways and return home, my child, before everything goes down, because a lot is getting ready to take place. Vengeance is getting ready to take place. We're about to see a lot of crazy things coming in these last days, and man, it's not time for me to release those things. So just know your fate is in your hands. Choose God or choose Satan, but not choosing is still choosing Satan. And so pick whom it is this day that you will serve. God said he will not be angry if you return. He will not be upset. Like, he has great plans for you guys, but for those who just keep on refusing him, it won't be too late for you. I mean, you might be in a ditch in a hole, but smart folks want to get out before it even gets too deep, right? Smart folks don't just go swimming deep in the ocean when they know that they can't swim over there. They come on back when they see a bit of the wave. They say, that ain't for me. That's wisdom, people. That's wisdom, not fear. It's wisdom. But all right, I just pray that, this word falls on the hearts of the right people. I pray that your ears are open and that your heart receives everything that the Lord is saying, that you hearken unto his warning and to his word, and understand that, warnings and rebukes is God's love. That's also mercy. That is definitely mercy. I've said this before, because he could just kill us off, right? And just like he did with Noah, right? He just drowned everybody. He didn't have to make a promise and say the rainbow is going to signify and remind him of the covenant that he made with Noah. He didn't have to say that. He could still just be killing us all off because we don't listen, right? Like the Israelites, when God was ready to wipe them out, and Moses was like, no, God, who will tell of the great things that you have done if you take them out? Right? Because only they were the ones who witnessed the sea parting. But okay, you guys. Anyways, be blessed. Take this as a warning, and take it back to the Lord and see what it is that you have to do in order to fix your relationship, and get back in right standing with Him. All right, I send you guys shalom, shalom, peace, love, joy. Of course, you guys know the purest form of joy and happiness from heaven I send out to you. And yeah, much love and prosperity. Bye, you guys.